What was I gonna be talking about next? This chicken is boned. Chicken, 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 chicken. Hey everyone, I'm Rachel P, and today we're going to be talking about dry brine. Dry brining is just adding some kosher salt to whatever meat you're trying to cook. It can be pork chops, steak, whatever, but today we're just going to be doing some roasted chicken. So the first thing that you need to do to dry brine a bird is get the skin nice and dry so that your ingredients will stick to it. You can either do this by patting it down with a bunch of paper towels, or you can put it on a sheet pan or a roasting pan and stick it in the fridge uncovered for a few hours, and it'll dry out naturally because your fridge is a very dry environment. It's what gets those vegetables all shrivelly and ruins your celery. Once your chicken is nice and dry, you can go ahead and add your brine. And while technically you only need salt, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to add some extra flavor to this chicken. We have some paprika, some turmeric, some sumac, and I'm gonna be using a Middle Eastern spice blend called za'atar. And you just wanna kind of mix those up so they're evenly distributed. You wanna use at least about a ½ teaspoon of salt per pound of meat that you're brining, but I've found that when you're brining any type of poultry, you tend to use a little bit more brine than if you were doing a steak or a pork chop, so I'm using about 3 tablespoons of salt for this bird. You might not wind up using all the brine, that's okay. I'm also going to separate the skin of the breast from the actual chicken. That way we can add some of the brine underneath. In order to separate the skin, you want to start from this like top, neck end of your chicken breast, and you're just going to push your fingers underneath. And while obviously you want to be careful not to tear this, don't be scared because it's a lot stronger than it seems. And you're just going to kind of work your hand in there, breaking anything that's attaching that skin to the actual chicken. And I know that this is probably a really creepy looking video because it looks like there's something crawling around under the skin, but it's all detached. And so I'm just gonna start with the under the skin part. You're gonna take a nice little handful, put it underneath, and just rub it over all of that chicken breast. And then we're gonna do the outside. So you wanna make sure that you get in all of those little cracks. So we're gonna be kind of just like patting it on. I like to kind of sprinkle a little bit over the major areas and then go back and rub it in. You can add some more if you need to. The thing is, if it falls off the side, it's okay. It's gonna attach as much as it really can. Make sure we get those wings. And if your skin's not dry enough, it's not really going to stick. That's why we went to the effort of drying it so much. You want all of your stuff to stick to this bird. And so now all we have to do is wait. You can either leave this out for 2 hours at room temperature, or you can brine it for a minimum of 4 hours and a maximum of 24 hours in the fridge. You just don't really want to go past 24 hours because if you tenderize meat for too long, it starts to break down in some kind of unpleasant and weird ways. And once you've brined your chicken, you can actually add some stuff underneath that skin. Since we already went to the trouble of separating it, you might as well use it to your advantage. One of my favorite things to do is to add some lemon slices. Take a couple of them, probably either 2 or 3 per breast, and you just stick those underneath the skin. They're gonna kind of help tenderize the breast even more as it cooks with that citric acid. They're also going to kind of break down and get super jammy, but you don't wanna add these until right before, because if you were to brine this for 8 hours in the fridge, those lemons are gonna kind of overly tenderize those specific spots on the chicken breast. But if you didn't want to do lemons, you could also put a bunch of garlic paste under there, or even some boiled and smashed potatoes. You could put slices of butter in if you really just wanted to take it all the way home. If you wanted to add any liquid ingredients, like maybe some honey or a little bit of butter or olive oil to help crisp up the skin, you would do that right before you put it in the oven. Just brush it over that dry brine. What's nice about this is all those seasonings that you imparted into the bird are also going to flavor your drippings. You could roast some carrots, some sweet potatoes, broccoli, even some cubed bread to make some croutons, and they're all gonna get that extra amped up flavor that you put into your brine. For more tips and recipes, check out my website, JoyFullFoods.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and click right now to subscribe for more videos. Caw-caw.